there anything better than being scared shitless from the comfort of your own living room? Well, today we're revealing our top 10 horror movies on Netflix right now. When I say top 10, we're not doing a traditional top 10. I've got my 5, Jenks has got his 5.
Yeah, and there are plenty of shit ones as well, if you're interested in those. Maybe another video.
Yeah,
More
yeah,
so.
we've proper sieved out some of the best ones.
Yes.
Now, I'd say 4 of my picks, I've gone for these ones because I think they're a lot lesser known. Now, there's a lot of big horror movies on
Yeah.
Netflix that I don't really want to talk about
Yeah.
because everybody knows them. But let's get into the list. Not necessarily in order until my number 1 spot, but in 5th place, I've got the Swedish horror movie from 2023, The Conference. I don't know if you've seen this one, Jenks.
I haven't seen it. I did see the trailer and look, I fancied it, but I think at the time I wasn't in the mood to read subtitles.
Yeah, of course.
Probably hungover.
I'll say one thing, Jenks. If you like Severance, which I know you do, you will
Yes.
absolutely love this one. It kind of follows the same beats as that movie. You've got a group of employees of this supermarket who go
Yeah.
away for the weekend to do team building exercises. Now, there's a bit of politics in the background with a bit of land they've got to build a new supermarket. And there's a whole backdrop of politics that come around that. And then they're at this weekend getaway, team building exercise, and it's a slasher movie. They all start getting picked off one by one. It's ultra violent, but it's bleak. It's bleak comedy, I want to say.
Yeah.
Quite similar to British humour. Now,
Yeah.
they don't really do anything that's stupid or silly, but it is funny. And
Yeah.
it's definitely one you can enjoy if you enjoy your horror movies a little bit sillier like I do. But I watched this one when Netflix dropped it last year, and I absolutely loved it. I do love my horror movies, and they've just got a wicked sense of humour. And this is one of one of the best movies I've
Yeah.
seen come out of Sweden.
I'll definitely catch that. It's quite nice to have some on the list that I haven't seen.
Definitely.
Right, my first pick is The Perfection. Okay, now this isn't for
Cracking.
everybody. Okay, but I really love this film. I've only seen it once. It's not one of those films you're going to see lots of times. I would watch it
Yeah.
again though. But it's so original. It's got lots of flaws. Okay, it's got a couple of plot hole issues. It's got a couple of wild coincidences. But you will never see another movie like this. It is
Yes.
gory in all the brilliant ways. It's about a girl. She's a musician, and it's a highly competitive sort of field, and she'll do anything to take out the competition. And I mean anything. And the shit that she does is horrifying. This is not like Black Swan. This is more like trashy brilliance, and it stars Alison Williams. She's the girl from Get Out, and Megan, and it's brilliant. Honestly, put aside the plot holes. There's a couple of plot holes. Just watch it, switch your brain off, and it's awesome. Yeah, you've seen it, haven't you?
I have, and I agree with you. It's a fantastic film, but it's one I've watched once, and I'll probably watch it again, maybe in a few years' time when I've kind of forgotten what happens in the film. But yeah, cracking
Yeah,
pick. I love that film.
you need a
It's great.
strong stomach as well. Some bits in it, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if we're talking about switching our brains off, my next one is perfect. I've got 2021's The Trip, directed by one of my favourite directors, Tommy Wirkola. I absolutely love this guy. I'm a huge fan of Dead
Yeah.
Snow. I quite like his Hansel and Gretel. I love how violent they are.
And Violent Night.
Violent Night as well. The guy has not missed yet.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't seen What Happened to Tomorrow. I think it's called that. It's on Netflix.
Oh, what happened to Monday?
Monday, that's
It's
it.
the one with the girl from what's she in?
Naomi Rapis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Seen
she's
it.
in
It's
as well.
brilliant.
Yeah.
It's did he
Oh,
did he direct that? Did he?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a really brilliant film. It's very, very clever. Should be on your list.
I know, but it's not particularly
Yeah.
a horror, is it?
No, it's sci-fi.
Yeah, but anyway, we've got The Trip. Now, when this movie, right, was silently released on Netflix, and I didn't even know that Tommy Wirkola had made another one of the most bonkers films I've ever seen. It's basically about this couple who go away to their holiday home,
Yeah.
and the husband's planning on killing his wife, and he's got this whole thing set up. Now, I'm not going to say anything else
No, don't
because
spoil it.
that is all you need to know.
Yeah.
But the second they step foot in that holiday home, the things they throw at you in that film,
Yeah.
and it's got some of the nastiest gore scenes you will ever see. I love this movie. I give it 5 stars. I've watched it twice more.
Yeah.
I still love this
I
film.
think I give it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, good one. Right. Next on my list, okay, is very underrated. It's made by Mike Flanagan and it's Gerald's Game. It
Oh,
is
yes.
based on Stephen King's novel of the same name, and it stars Carla Gugino, Carla Gugino. I hate names. And Bruce Greenwood. These basically those are the two go-to people he uses for all his shows, like Haunted
Yes.
of Hill House, and it is brilliant. It's a basic setup. It's a married couple. They're struggling to, they're losing a bit of spark. They go back to this like house that they fell in love in. I can't really remember now, but they go there. They try to spruce up their sex life. He ties her to the bed with handcuffs, and he has a heart attack and dies. That's not a spoiler. That's in the trailer. And the whole
Yes.
film is she's stuck and realizing, oh fuck, and there's a dead body rotting in front of her. It is so clever and so brilliant. And you know, when that came out as a book, I was young and I thought, oh, that sounds boring. Gerald's Game. If I'd known the premise, I would have gone, oh, that's right up my street, even as a kid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, I love this film. It's brilliant. Mike Flanagan is probably my favorite horror director now. I think he's overshot most of them. Um, but there's a there's a tack on ending. I'm not going to say what the ending is. If you ignore that, okay, the film is pretty much perfect. But it was a stupid ending. I don't mean like a bad ending, as in like what happens. It's just you could chop it off, and it's too much. It's almost like an ending where if you watch Die Hard and it finishes, he gets out the tower and you watch him then go on holidays to Ibiza with his family, you're thinking, well, we don't need to see this. It felt a bit like that, pointless.
Yes.
But again, I don't want to put people off. I just wanted to go into it knowing, like, don't worry about the ending. It is 100% worth it. I love this film, and there's a really horrible bit
Yeah, yeah.
involving a hand. you know,
Yeah, soon as you said, handcuffed to the bed, I just had flashbacks of that
yes,
scene.
yeah, I won't spoil it.
That movie is as bleak as they come. Obviously, as well, it's quite sensitive subject matter throughout the film as well. Obviously, we delve into her backstory from when she was a kid with her
Yes,
father and that. I showed it to my girlfriend actually a few months ago, and she didn't really like it. It was a bit too bleak for her, nasty. Now she's really getting into horror films, but it is quite a nasty film.
yeah, but it's
But
awesome.
nonetheless, it is a cracking one. I love that
Yes.
film. Mike Flanagan just needs to keep adapting Stephen King books because he's about to do his third Stephen King movie.
Which one's he doing?
Um, I can't remember the name of it now, but he's finished production on a third Stephen King movie.
Oh, I have seen it pop up, and the
Yeah,
name's
yeah.
lost me now.
It's
Yes.
got an
Okay.
insane
Oh,
cast.
is it
But
Monkey? Something Monkey. I think it's
it might
Monkey.
be
The
Oz
Monkey.
Perkins is directing a monkey movie.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
love monkey films, don't you? No,
I
I
love
don't.
monkey films.
You only watch a film with a monkey, and yeah, if you ain't got a monkey, and it's like, oh, no monkey. Oh,
Do you have a
rubbish.
Monkey Trouble Boy? Cracking film that was.
What else you got then?
Right, is this my third one?
I don't know.
I'd say these three now are pretty much where they should be. My top three. So I've got 2016's The Wailing. I absolutely love this film. It comes out of Korea, which I think is probably one of my favorite countries for producing movies, and that's South Korea, not North
Yeah,
Korea.
I'm
I don't know
producing
what they're
women.
doing. Yeah. Any movie, right, that that comes to the UK at least, that come out of that country, I jump on,
Yeah,
specifically if it's, a horror or a thriller. So when The Wailing came out in 2016, I don't think I watched it when it came out. I think I watched it a few years later when it came on Netflix. But
yeah,
it's a long one. If you do struggle with subtitles, you may struggle with this one because it is over 2.5 hours long. But if you enjoy a really good, slow burn, creepy, unsettling foreign movie, this is an absolute must watch. I give this movie 5 stars when I watched it, and it's basically about this small village. Small village. It's about this small village in North Korea.
you've been stung by a bee.
That's I know, flipping hell. So it's about this small village in North Korea that's plagued by this virus, right? And then you've got this cop whose daughter is ill with this virus. So it's kind of like this story where, well, he goes and tries to figure out what's going on and tries to put an end to it. But I feel like this is three movies put into one, because the start of it is a run of a mill plague movie. People are getting sick, people are dying. And then it's like a fucking zombie movie,
Yeah.
the second half. And then the third half is like supernatural and
Oh,
scary.
spoiler alert.
It's no spoilers, man. It's all in the flipping synopsis. All right. The poster's got a creepy ghost kid in it, right?
Post has got 3 sections.
What I'm saying is, this movie's an absolute blast, right?
Yeah,
And
it is good.
there's so many different tones to this movie, and it goes in so many places you won't expect. But I do feel like you could watch this in 3 episodes, because that's how different
Yeah.
each part of the film is. And along that as well, there's actually some funny bits and some slapstick moments, which is crazy, because you're chucked into these situations, these tense situations, and then you're laughing. And then the third act, there's so many moments in that movie where I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, like that creeping terror. The only thing I'll say about this one, right, is, again, I don't want to go into too much detail about what happens in the film, although I have kind of delved into it a little bit. This is a must watch. It's absolutely fantastic. I know this one gets a lot of rave on the internet, but I
Yeah.
don't think enough people have seen this movie.
Yes, I like it. It's a bit long, 2.5 hours of reading. It's like you might as well read a book.
Nice one for watching it though, Jenks, because I know you struggle
Yes.
with that, and
No,
I
no.
told you to watch it and you did,
I
so
did,
you're a
yeah.
good
I will
egg.
take some recommendations. To be honest, the forum ones you're telling me tend to be a bit classy, and I like them. It's the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
American ones that you recommend that is shit. Right. Right. My next pick, my fourth pick, is it's not that special, as in like some arty farty one. It is Get Out. Everybody loves this film.
Yeah,
It stars Daniel Kaluuya, and it's a great film.
yeah.
It's one of those where he's a black guy going out with a white girl, and there's a bit of tension, as if like, will her family be okay with it? He's a black dude. They go to the family, and there's something off about everything about this town. They've
Yes.
got like black people working in as like gardeners, and it seems like everything's a bit out of kilter. Feels like it's set in another time, and Daniel, yeah, I can't remember his name in the film now. What's his name? Daniel, the character. I
Can't
can't remember.
remember.
I watched it the other day. It's a terrible memory. Anyway, there's something off about the family, and I can't spoil it, obviously, but a lot of people have already seen this film. I would highly recommend it. I've forgotten the name of the director now.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. It's a brilliant debut movie. It's a shame, but his follow up, Us, was a piece of shit.
Better
No,
than Nope, though. Us is
no,
better than Nope.
I think Nope was better. I just Nope just
Nah.
fell off a cliff towards the end. But either way, this is a really good film, and I'll give him one more chance now. His next film,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because if not, he's just a little bit of a one trick pony. But highly recommend this. I know it's a popular one, and I know a lot of people love it. And if you haven't seen it, if you think it's a bit too mainstream, don't worry. But it's a really good film. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I love that film. I think I seen that on a Scream Unseen.
Is it
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I'm sure it was that and
on the
Split.
Odeon? Yeah.
Yeah, great film. Again, when that came out, I was like, oh, this is a guy to watch out for. And unfortunately, Us and Nope, for me, didn't
Yeah.
deliver much, to be
No,
honest.
it hated us. Oh, I saw it twice just to make sure I wasn't, I don't know,
Just to double check,
brainwashed.
like,
I did. I stuck it off my wife. I said, "Watch this with me. Am I just being too harsh, or is this dog shit?" And
yeah,
she's
yeah,
like, "It's dog shit. It once the answer so you have to ask so many questions, and then when you get the answers, it makes you ask even more. Oh, hang on, then where do you get
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
scissors from?" That's the one thing I cared about, not the other things. I'm
That's
like,
it, like,
where's the
the only
scissors?
thing.
How can they have all those scissors? Yeah, what's your last pick?
No, no, there's 2 picks left. I've done
No,
3. I've got,
have you?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The conference, the trip, and the
Oh yes,
whaling.
you're right. You're right. Yes, I
Yeah,
got one more, two more. I know.
right.
I'm a very professional.
I'd say in 4th place or 2nd place. Let's go 2nd
Yeah.
place. I've got a personal connection to this one because it is set in Wales and it's directed by a Welsh director. And we've got Gareth Evans as Apostle, starring the fantastic Dan Stevens from The Guest, Abigail, and a countless amount of other films in the genre. This guy is top class. I absolutely love him. But this film in particular, I think, is extremely underrated. When it came out, no one was really raving about it. I think it did quite well on Netflix. But I think this movie deserves another watch by everyone. I think it's definitely underrated. It's basically about a guy played by Dan Stevens who travels to this island in Wales to look for his missing sister. And it's a very much Wicker Man movie set on an island. There's a kind of cult there. Michael Sheen plays like this really devilish cult leader.
It's
You know,
set
the
like about
typical.
200 years ago, isn't it? I think is
Yes,
this set
yeah.
like a
I, I,
17th or 18th century? Is this something like that?
maybe, yeah. It's
Possibly.
got a fair few years on it.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love this movie, and I love location movies as well. And obviously, the whole film is set on this island. It's got a great cast in it. Everyone pulls their weight, and when it needs to be, it's ultra violent. And
Yeah.
quite like how we're used to seeing Gareth Evans's movie, he does like his violence, similar to Tarantino. If you go in to watch one of his movies, you can expect violence, and that's exactly what it does. Now, he takes a step back from the intensity of the raid, and this is more of a grounded movie, and it is a proper, I'd say, 1970s inspired horror movie. It feels like a 70s
Yes.
movie, and I love it. When it came out, I will say I am a huge fan of Gareth Evans, so I went into it like, oh, I'm going to love this film, and I did. I'm not saying it hasn't got its flaws, and whenever anybody has said anything negative about it, I've gone, well, I can see your point, but it doesn't really affect me.
Yeah.
I love this movie. It's one I go back to a lot.
Yeah, you recommended it to me. I did watch it and I did enjoy it. I haven't recommended it to other people because I don't know that many people who would like my wife. I think she might like it, but it's not as mainstream. But if you like horror and if you don't have to have like jump scares every 5 seconds, just things get under your skin, a bit like The Wicker Man. It's a highly
Yes.
good, highly recommended. Right, my last but one pick. Now, lots of people slag this film off, right? But they shouldn't, okay? It's got its flaws, but who cares? It's World War
Oh, I'm
Z, okay?
excited.
It's World War Z starring Brad Pitt. Very, very mainstream one. It's always on Netflix or Prime or something. And look, forget about all the plot holes, forget about all the wild coincidences. It is a really good zombie movie with some of the greatest zombie moments because it's got a bit of money behind it. It does things with zombies that no other zombie film could do or could afford. It's a basic premise. They're trying to survive this zombie epidemic, and he works for the UN, and he's an expert at sort of viruses, so he's trying to find the path of the virus. It's got fuck all to do with the book. I've read the book. It's just the same in name. That's it. And Jerry is the character's name. Jerry Lane, I think his name is. That's pretty much where it ends. But the scene in Israel, okay, with the wall and the zombies are trying to come
Yeah.
over like termites, visually it is incredible. Like no, like George Romero couldn't afford to have a scene like that. So
Yeah.
it is. I know people moan about CGI and things, but when it's done right, it looks awesome. And when they're
Sometimes it's needed. Like,
yeah, and
there's
when
no
they're
other way you could do that scene.
when they're piling over, it's incredible. And yes, the end is a bit silly, and the plane crash is a bit silly, and they land in
Cardiff.
Cardiff, which is really weird for Welsh people. Could we never
Yeah.
get mentioned in films? Um, but I'm very aware of the flaws, but I have seen this countless times. I can watch it if it's on. I'll stick it on because I just enjoy switching my brain off.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's always good to watch, and yeah, it's a great movie. I love it. Yeah,
Yeah, do you know what? I've watched it once when it came out. What year did this come out?
I think about 2012 or 11, something like
Oh,
that.
Jesus
Or was it
Christ. Yeah.
earlier? I could be wrong.
I've watched it once, and when I watched it, I went, "Oh yeah, I enjoyed that," but I've never gone back to it, which is weird.
I
But
would go back to it. Highly recommend it. And just
yeah, I
again, just
will.
switch your brain off. Who cares? There's
Yeah,
a lot. I
Jenks,
know.
you don't need to say that to me. Come on, I'm the
And
king of switching my brain off.
also, it's a shame because it cost loads of money because they had to do famously had to do like one of the most expensive reshoots. They scrapped loads of stuff and started from
Yeah,
scratch, big chunks of it. so it ballooned the budget up. So we've never got that David Fincher sequel that we were promised, which would have been
Yeah, I
awesome.
know. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Yep. Right. What's your last one then? Can't wait for this. It's gonna be shit.
Right, my number one spot. Now, I just want to say, I know Evil Dead Rises on Netflix, and that is easily the best horror movie on Netflix right now.
It's
But I
not there
did want to
anymore.
mention it. It's gone, is
It's
it?
gone. It's gone.
Oh, got off scot free. Didn't even have to mention it. So the movie that is left on Netflix is my favorite horror movie of 2023, and I know this has become quite a popular movie,
Yep.
but I have to talk about it. And we've got 2023's Talk to Me, directed by Danny and Micah Philippou. This film, right, absolutely blew me away. You, Jenks, I
Yeah.
raved about this film so much
I loved it.
that he went to cinema the same day I told him to watch it, and he hadn't even heard of it, and watched it because I left the cinema, right, and
I had heard of it. I just didn't fancy it. The trailer didn't do it justice.
fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Same, right? So I'll go and see any horror movie in cinema. If there's a horror movie in cinema, I will go and watch it. Now, I was fans of Danny Michael Philippou from their YouTube days, but I seen the trailer for this movie and I thought it looked like a generic run-of-the-mill
Yeah, it
possession
did.
movie,
Not a good
with an
trailer.
artifact. And I thought, okay. And it was just one of those movies, maybe on a Wednesday night, we just went, let's go to cinema, watch Talk to Me. And oh my God, I was just like at the whole film, just in awe at the brilliance of this movie. And it doesn't really do anything new. It just does everything perfectly. And what
Yes.
it does do is get under your skin and stay there. I absolutely love this film. I just watched it again a few days ago for the second time. I was actually, right, I enjoyed this movie so much. I've actually been putting off watching it again because I didn't want to take that experience away.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can watch a film once and love it, and you get that second viewing and you kind of see through a lot of things.
Yeah.
No, exact same experience. I watched it
Yeah.
again, and now I know it's going to be a film I will go back to a lot.
I
This is a
yeah,
fantastic film.
I think when I saw the trailer, like I said, I thought it was just a generic sort of ghost film. And then I think because you were raving, I actually, I'll give it a go. Because normally trailers look better than the film and nothing can live up to a trailer. But it was
Yeah,
the other way around with this one. Um,
100%. Yeah,
I really like this film. One of the things that makes it special is it's Australian and all the acting's really good. It's a bit grittier
yeah,
than the average sort of teen sort of Hollywood film. And all the teenagers in it, they all look normal. They're not
yeah,
all stunning and beautiful. The men are all jocks and like six packs. Everybody looks real and normal and flawed. And there is some brutal bits in it. Put
yeah,
aside the scares, there's some brutal violence. One in particular that if you've seen it, you know which one I'm on about. I won't spoil it because it'll give away a plot point.
yeah,
But yes, I've seen this. My daughter's seen this. She enjoyed it. The only flaw to me, I think they spent a little bit too long on the ghosts' faces, and I prefer things to be a bit more in the shadows. But other than that, it is near perfect horror film. I love it. Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
Right, my last pick. I'm not going to spend long on this because we just did a review of it, but it's Evil Dead Remake 2013. I love this film. It's directed by Fred Alvarez and it's a remake to a classic. Don't be, if you love the original, don't be afraid to watch the remake and think it's going to taint it. They are
Yeah,
very different films. They got similar setup, but you can love them both equally. I prefer this one because the original is good, but it's a little bit old and a bit dated now. But it is violent. It's very original in some of the death scenes and things, and you have a brilliant villain. Jane Levy, she's stuck in this, they put her in this cabin because she's a heroin addict. They're trying to do like cold turkey. It's like a bit of intervention, and shit starts hitting the fan. She gets possessed and all hell breaks loose. It's a brilliant movie. And that's all I'm going to say because we've
I
waffled
need,
on.
I need, I need more detail, please.
No, I will
Sell me
link.
the
I will
film.
link our video. We literally just did it last week. I can't talk about Evil Dead anymore. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. If I hope you enjoy that. If you have your own top 10 Netflix, if you agree with ours, drop them in the comments. And if you enjoy horror movie reviews, drop us click that subscribe. I'll start that again. Click the subscribe button. And we catch you in the next one. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.